Hello everyone, I am Shannon Stoewsand, and it is my pleasure to be presenting to you the research I conducted within my profession, English education. The journal I will be getting published in is called Reading Horizons, which is a research-based journal that focuses on literacy education and English language arts. I found this journal to be most suitable for my purpose because of its broad focus that allows my research to remain relevant and purposeful to its readers. I intended to focus my research and my paper on ways that you can improve classroom settings and teaching methods. For this assignment, I found it most effective to use complex syntax in order to mimic the styles used by professionals in my field that write in this journal and others like it. I used punctuation like commas, semicolons, and dashes often to achieve this goal and create sentences that were inviting to the well-educated audience. Additionally, I included ornate diction like provoke students' thoughts instead of make students think and imperative instead of important to achieve a similar writing style of those in my profession. A reader that is well educated would become disinterested in plain diction with simple syntax. Furthermore, I used educators' jargon appropriately to establish more credibility with the audience. Using words and phrases like cognitive process and even reading comprehension and at-risk students makes my research more understandable to the audience and proves to the reader that I am well versed in the basic knowledge of the subject. Those conventions combined create the professional tone I was trying to imitate. Since the paper was based off data and facts, I wanted to remain professional so that my audience would take me seriously. With that being said, the actual topic I chose to write about was the impact that reading comprehension can have for at-risk students. At-risk students are those with divorced parents, low-income families, less graduation credits than their peers, repetitive truancy, etc. that experience a less than ideal learning and developmental environment. These conditions can hinder the learning capabilities of these students as they usually become disengaged in the classroom. This resource explained the ways that teachers can improve reading comprehension. I thought this was the perfect starting point for my paper because it presents a solution to a challenge many teachers may face in the classroom in engaging their students in the class. The first strategy, the link strategy, consists of presenting the students with a single word that relates to the lesson. Then the students make a list of words they think of when they see the word presented to them. After that, they discuss in the classroom why each word they mention relates to the first word. They take notes of the classroom discussion and, finally, know the information in a way that relates to their way of thinking. The anticipation guide strategy uses a series of questions that the student answers prior to the lesson. This helps improve reading comprehension skills because the students relate their answers and opinions to the themes in the literature. It makes the reading material more relevant and makes the themes and their importance clearer for a student with less developed reading comprehension. Pictured is an example of the anticipation guide strategy worksheet educators might hand out to students. Most of my remaining research focused on why teachers should use the link strategy, anticipation guide strategy, and others like it to improve their reading comprehension skills. There are many ways that reading comprehension skill development carries over into other subjects to help benefit students. Of course, reading comprehension can help students thrive in other reading-intensive courses. One of these courses is social studies. There are many reading requirements, especially as students advance, that require better reading capabilities. Primary sources such as letters, historical documents, and more can date back several hundred years. Students need to be able to decipher meaning using context clues with such sources, especially in critical thinking, in order to understand some of their meanings. Ensuring that at-risk students are developing their reading skills can prevent challenges in other reading-intensive courses like this one. Social studies is not the only other reading-intensive course. It is simply a good example of one of the classes that students need to apply their reading skills to most. A less obvious way that reading comprehension development can ensure the success of at-risk students is apparent in the studies that Dr. Jean Fite compiled about the benefits reading comprehension can have in the mathematics classroom. One of the cognitive processes that occurs during reading comprehension is deciphering the symbols or letters and understanding them together as words with meanings. Then the reader must understand several words combined into sentences and comprehend the meaning of the sentence. This process of deciphering, according to the studies, is similar to the process the brain uses to decipher the symbols and equations in math. This makes algebra and other advanced math classes easier because the brain is already prepared to think in the complex way required for solving such equations and organize the information to make sense of it. In a similar way, these developed cognitive processes carry over to the statistics classroom. Two college professors conducted a study to determine the connection, if any, between reading comprehension and success in statistics courses. On the first day of class, each professor handed students two exams. One measured their level of anxiety they were experiencing entering the class, while the other determined the reading comprehension level. At the end of the class, they noted the test scores of the students of all anxiety and reading comprehension levels. It was shown that anxiety levels in students with higher reading comprehension skills were less because they were able to interpret the information better. This resulted in higher test scores for these students. If teachers maintain a focus on improving and using at-risk students' reading comprehension skills, they could know how to better help their students in a new and unique way. The last journal I decided to consider for my paper was about the incongruencies between standardized testing that educational institutions use to determine reading comprehension skill levels among students. This was relevant and important because it demonstrates the flaws in the testing system currently used for students, which could alter the accuracy of the results found in the studies relating to this subject. In turn, this could hinder teachers' abilities to help students that need to improve their reading skills. As mentioned previously, many cognitive processes occur during reading comprehension. Some forms of testing focus only on some of these processes, or more on particular processes than others. This means that a test could measure a student's abilities to decipher meanings of words in the context of a sentence, but it may fail to measure the student's capability to actually understand a passage as a whole. If the student is able to decipher the meanings of words better than understanding a passage as a whole, they could score high in reading comprehension without necessarily being good at reading comprehension. This would lead to teachers to believe that a student does not need to improve in an area that is crucial to their academic success. Additionally, the progress of at-risk students could be inaccurately measured. There are several ways that reading comprehension can benefit students, and inaccurate testing could interfere with the potential help that it could provide to students. Therefore, standardized testing should be improved to equally measure all cognitive processes with reading and understanding the text. I tried to answer the question about whether or not reading comprehension skills can improve the overall academic success for at-risk students, and my thesis was that it can. Reading comprehension is helpful to at-risk students' overall success because it can provide them help in mathematics, statistics, social studies, and more. It helps decipher and organize information. Teachers should promote the importance of reading comprehension, and they should start reading development at an early age. They should also improve reading comprehension standardized testing to make sure that tests and results are accurate.